maturing on the 29th of December 2016 with a discount high of 13.10% and value of 40.50 billion naira and exchanged in about 162 deals. For the other bills, that's the bill maturing on the 15th of December, that had a discount high of 9.95%. And analysts are of the view that there will continue to be increased demand for those bills in the coming days, especially as the equities market is still not their favorite at the moment. So we'll keep our eye on those numbers. But total number of deals from the Treasury bills as traded on the FMDQ Securities Exchange yesterday came in at 597 and a value of 153.55 billion naira. So we'll go back to equities now and talk about the NASD OTC market. It's the market for unlisted securities. And so yesterday we saw the market giving up about 48 basis points to close at 611.09. Now that segment of the market has been a little bit mixed since the week began, as we've seen investors taking position on some of those equities listed there, and particularly on the volume drivers, including Central Securities Clearing Systems, Friesland Campino Wamco and Afriland Properties. Investors have been taking positions on this particular equities, as well as Jais Bank. Now we saw a volume at 39,574 and a value of 860,703 recorded yesterday at that segment of the market, and total number of deals came in at 8. Let's also quickly run you through the currencies market. Take a look at the broader picture, starting from the interbank foreign exchange market. Yesterday, the naira closed flat, 305 naira to the dollar, and for the British pound, it appreciated about 0.34% to finish at 392 naira 43 kobo. We had the euro at 332 naira 42 kobo. That's down almost 0.1%. But on the other hand, the street market continued to see flattish movement around the naira to the dollar. And of course, the euro was off 1% to 500 naira. So just to quickly remind you again on the program today, we'll be taking a look at the state of state economies with Seun Onigbinde, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Budget. We'll be focusing on their plan for the year, looking at their debt plan, of course, the state of state debt plan. We notice that some of the states actually have continued to amass a lot of this debts from the federal government, loans to the state, the bailout, the cash bailouts sometime last year. And of course, they still have foreign debts, and of course, they still have the bonds that they actually raised at the market. So we're taking a look at all of these issues and the impact of monetary pronouncements on these particular states, as well as the outlook for the 36 state governments. And also, we'll be talking about the state of the oil and gas industry. Quite a lot of activities we're tracking from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. A bids opening for the 2016-2017 NNPC crude term contracts hold today in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now, yesterday, on Wednesday, that is, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, addressed the Senate Joint Committee on Implementation of JV cash calls obligation of between 2011 and 2015. He told the committee that agreements with partners to exit JV cash call debts have been reached, with the exit expected to be through incremental production over 2 to 5 years without impacting on base production. He also gave the assurance the government will continue to take its royalty and taxes as first-line charge, which constitutes about 85% of government revenue. We're hoping to talk to the president of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, Biodun Adesoya, on this particular issue. And of course, we've got our eye on the power sector as well. There's been a new development. Most of the power equipment that was trapped in containers at the ports have been released. We'll get to know what the update on that particular story is much later. Channels Television is covering most of the issues that affects the economy and that affects you. And you know that you can be part of the conversations that we're going to be having here on the program in the course of today. And you can also make comments on any of the other issues that we've raised on the program. So let me just quickly remind you that you can reach us on any of these social media platforms. On Twitter, I'm at CTV Harriet. Abibo soon will be glad to mind your business. Don't forget, you can also tweet at Biz Morning, which is the show's handle. You can also tweet at Channels TV. We'll be glad to read your comments. And let me also tell you that we've got a poll running on the Business Morning Twitter handle. It's been on for most of this week. It actually was in reference to the Monetary Policy Committee, a meeting which was held for the first 2 days of the week. And the question was with regards the rates. What was the expectation? What is the expectation of most Nigerians in terms of what the Monetary Policy Committee should do at its final meeting? So the options were policy tightening, policy easing, all of the above, or do nothing or none of the above. And most of course, the responses we got were in favor of policy rate easing, because most Nigerians feel that at this time there should be an easing in rates to actually reflect what's going on in terms of the recession and to allow for increased spending and borrowing by the federal government as well. But the central bank governor, while reading out the communique, said very categorically that the monetary policy at this time cannot do very much. Everything rests squarely on the ability of the fiscal authorities to put the economy in order, particularly bringing out the economic recovery plan. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Kemi Adeosun, has actually alluded to that the federal government will be rolling out an economic spending plan, recovery plan for the economy at this time, as we've seen in 3 quarters, a contraction of for the third quarter, we saw that at 2.24%, but in the second quarter, the economy contracted 2.06%, and in the first quarter, we saw a contraction of 0.3%. So all of this will be also part of the discussions I'll be having with Mr. Bismarck Rewani, who is the Managing Director of Financial Derivatives Company. We're hoping he'll be joining us on the program. Today is a kind of funny day for us here in Lagos. There's a bit of traffic gridlock in most of the commonly used routes, especially coming out of Lagos, where Channels Television is actually located. But we'll be keeping track of all of those respondents who will be on the program today, but we'll try and find other ways to get them to talk about some of these issues. So Business Morning will continue after now. Stay with us.